Alright, welcome to part 2 of our Spider-Man tutorial. Let's get into it. So last time we left off, we were just blocking out all of the structure of the body. So from this point on, we want to, well actually I go back in the hood here. Every now and then I kind of back up and kind of see how things look, then I just jump right back in to see if I can make it look better. But it's always important to kind of stand back and see what's going on with the sculpture. Right here I'm making more wrinkles in the jacket. Just using the edge of that square. Just using the reference image to put down the basic cuts. Then later on we can go back and then smooth it out. Just pushing ever so slightly, just kind of using the center of the square to make those cuts. This is me fixing the face again. I told you in the last video I kind of was having trouble with that, so I go back in every now and then, just kind of moving it around. Fixing the hood. And with this video, I made the cuts shorter so the video wouldn't be as long, so I have two videos compiled in one. I didn't want my videos to run too long, but I also wanted to get the finished product out sooner. So I'm trying to compile everything so it won't be an all extensive video, but I'm giving you as much information as I can about my process. Remember, you can come from within the sculpture to kind of reset everything. I was making the sculpture bigger at that point because I saw that when I was making it thinner, it was becoming too thin. So you can always go back in and add more to help thicken it out. And I also find out it's always better to do your sculptures in layers. You know, start a new sculpt for each part of the body, pretty much. I didn't do that for all my sculptures in the beginning. I'm still kind of learning my own process, or just learning in general. But I definitely found it easier if you can do each body part on different layers. Resizing the feet here, and the hands, just trying to get everything into real proportions. And I don't even know why that was there, so I just delete that. moving on to the fingers here for the hand. And you just want to, just like I showed you in the last video, just kind of use that circle when it's on the blended mode, the soft blend, and just kind of move it over a couple inches, and you can quickly make fingers that way. You just come back on and flatten the top. And you can even actually duplicate, you know, your original sculpture, and you know, you can start to see that you got your second finger there, you know. You could just duplicate that a couple times and you can get some fingers going really quickly. That's definitely the easiest way to do it. And what you can do is just come back and resize everything, you know, to the right proportions, you know, shrink down a finger if it's too big, or just kind of work on each individual one after you copy them. You can see you got some fingers going there. And that is one of the options on how to make fingers. But that's not the way I wanted to do them. Me, I like to keep as many things as one sculpt as possible, so this is just me going back in and making all the fingers out of one sculpt. Going back in, adding more width. Going back in, adding more to the hand so I can take away from it. And making it look more smooth too. And hands are pretty tough. Even when drawing, you know, hands are always tedious because it's easy to get wrong. So don't be mad if it takes you a while. It actually took me a little bit of a while. I don't show it in this whole video, but I just wanted you to see me just kind of generally putting the shape together. Working on that sleeve. The sleeve is pretty long. It kind of covers his, kind of drapes over his hand there. Just trying to get that sleeve I was talking about, how it kind of drapes over his back of his hand. And I just used the square. I didn't necessarily have to, but I just like how tight the line was that it would leave. So I just thought of using a square, but of course it leaves like jagged edges. So I go back in with the circle to fix that. Just kind of blend it, soft blend, and just kind of puff it back out. Just pretty much adding more so you're able to take some away. Just raising it up there. I didn't want it touching the window. Just pushing from the bottom. And backing up, checking my work again. Always checking your work. And I just jumped to the shoe at this point. Just kind of got tired of the shoe looking like that. So just want to give a general shape for the shoe also. You know, not staying in one area too long, just jumping around. Actually, the cool thing about everything I'm doing is that it can be done with using the DualShock 4 if you don't have PlayStation moves. This is just my preferred method of using of sculpting, because I have trouble navigating with the DualShock 4. Just use what you have, you know. And me making the strings for his hoodie. with this cube. Came out decent, but I think I might change it later. I was using the spear here to shrink the size of the string. Another thing that I should have told you to do in the beginning, something I forgot, is to actually set a camera up so you don't have to keep jumping, zooming back and checking your work in random spots, because I noticed when I was doing that, I was making edits, but I kept zooming back and I was never getting the right spot every time when I was zooming back. So when I would look, at the sculpture, I was looking at different angles and I kept moving things around and it just wasn't right. So the first thing you should do is set a main camera, set it up perfectly as you can so you can get the right angle every time when you want to zoom back and check your artwork in the frame. So yeah, this should have been step one or step two. I mean, I didn't have the sculpture basics shape down, but definitely step two if you want to keep jumping back and making edits. And the hood was one of the things I was having issues with from the angle I was looking at, because I didn't have, my camera set down, so I couldn't see it from the right angle every time. And it looks like that does it for video number 2. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.